Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer, and this is how to get to level 45 to 50 in the range of 45 to 50 in just 30 minutes in Elden Ring. This is fantastic if you're new at the game. This is also an awesome way to build new characters, and honestly, it's the way I build new characters fast if you're trying to do stuff solo. So, first, we're going to pick the Bandit class. I'll explain why later, but the Bandit class is going to be the best class to pick for us for what we're going to do. Second to that is the Samurai class. If you can't pick the Bandit class, we're going to need the Samurai class. Now, for an extra couple of minutes, you could probably find a weapon with bleed that we'll need. For the purpose of kind of speed running this and showing what we need to do, though, we're going to start with the weapons that we need. And we're going to pick the Golden Seed for an extra flask as well, because that's going to be really helpful for us in the long run going forward. We're going to start at gate front here just to start the video. I'm going to guide you from here, but pretty much at this point, most of us know how to get to gate front. It's not far from the first site of grace you're ever going to get to. It's just northeast of there. We're going to do that so we can talk to Melina, get the horse, and also grab the map. Now, next we're going to be headed towards the river down here, a ravine rather, that leads you to Murkwater Cave. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to get invaded here and have a weapon that will be dropped and will have the stats for it already as the Bandit class. And that's the Reduvia, a very good early game weapon that can be gained, well, early game, right here outside Murkwater Cave. And now you're going to have some help because Hunter Yuri will come to your rescue. I got a little greedy in this fight. He ended up killing me and we traded. It did count though, and I still ultimately got the weapon that I needed. Just be careful not to let Yuri get, or Yura, however you say his name, get the full attention of him because he can kill him. He has a significant amount of bleed buildup. He does a lot of damage in general, and it's always best to, especially if you're on shore and you're playing the game for the first time, to try to avoid him, get the help, jump in when you can, and don't get greedy like I did, although the trading ended up working in the end. But more to the point, we now got the Reduvia along with some runes that we'll need. You can also pick up an extra rune at the first church, outside the first church you run into, to give us some purchasing power that we're going to need after we fight Patches in Murkwater Cave. And why are we fighting Patches so early? Well, we're fighting Patches early because we picked up the Reduvia, and Patches has three things that I like in the early game that work well for this setup. And that is 3 gold pickled foul foots, which increase your runes by, I think, something like 20 or 30% for 3 minutes. And we're going to need all 3 of those. So what we want to do is get to the point where he surrenders, gives himself up, and then after reloading the area and exhausting his dialogue, he will become a merchant and able to sell the things that we need. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you're not subbed, definitely sub to this channel. This channel is full of awesome builds, walkthroughs, things that can help you with the game in general. And honestly, it's just an awesome channel and an awesome community that continues to grow. And we're going to keep making fantastic content for you guys. I can't wait. It's been great. Definitely hit that subscribe button. So after that business with Patches, he's actually going to help us out twice. He helps us out so much. We get the Reduvia outside there. We grab the gold pickled foul foot. And then guess what? He's got a chest with a trap, a transporter trap, that's going to bring us closer to Caelid, give us the other map for Limgrave, and then boom, we're going to be at the third church of Marika where the physic is as well. So we're getting everything we need to get done in the early game, and we're moving on to the section that's going to allow you to get to level 45 to 50 in just 30 minutes. So after the third church of Marika here, I believe it's the third one, we're going to go up and we're going to go past to the Spirit Springs. The second Spirit Spring, by the way, here can actually bring you all the way up. It can bring you completely up to the top. However, I kind of fell halfway in between and I had to use the last one. You typically don't have to use the last one. It can get you all the way up there. But yeah, fell off here and then boom, we're going to use the second or third Spirit Spring and we're going to head towards Caelid. Now, when you go towards Caelid, it's important to remember to stay to the right. Hug the right so that you don't get invaded additionally by Anastasia. You might not want to have to deal with her early. She could be difficult, especially if you're new at the game, or if you're just not prepared to face an invader. And she is not tough after you level up a little bit. She's actually one of the easier invaders in the game because she hits so slow, but it's somebody that you might not want to deal with. So we've gotten to Rotview Balcony in Caelid, and we're going to head up towards Dragonbarrow. And as this bandit adventurer heads towards Dragonbarrow with the Reduvia, we start to set our eyes on the prize at hand, and that is roughly, usually for me, over 200,000 runes in about 10 minutes. And it's not a bad deal. It really isn't. And with those 3 gold pickled foul foot and the lovely dragon that's going to come up here that we're going to run into, the giant one in Caelid, everything is going to be, well, quite good for us because we're going to be leveling up really quickly and we're going to get this character up very fast so that by the time we get to Margit or Godric, we're already probably going to be overpowered for them, which can be fun for a lot of people. And if you're trying to make new characters in general, this also works well because sometimes you're not looking at what level you're going to be by the time you get to any boss. You may have experiences with all them. You just probably don't want to have to go and farm forever. And at this point, once you hit 50, you can kind of naturally level up through bosses, and you're going to hit at least, generally speaking, 125 by the end of the game anyway, just by starting out this way. So here's where we're at in Dragonbarrow. We're behind the giant dragon. I believe his name is Grail or something of that nature. And I think it's a female dragon, the mother of all the small dragons here. And we're going to do something interesting with this dragon. This dragon has been kind of, well, sort of has a small glitch since the game came out. It's never been patched. It's never been fixed. And what is that glitch? Well, that glitch is it doesn't actually die if you don't want it to. You have the option to keep this dragon alive, and with the gold pickled foul foot, we'll get 65,000 runes by booking it back to the site of grace after taking it out with the Reduvia, and that's going to be something we can continuously do over and over again. We kill the dragon, book it to the site of grace right here, turn around, and voila. On every console that I know of, and I've asked about this before, this pretty much always works. The dragon's back here, as you can tell there at the bottom. We've gained 65,000 runes, which is a really good amount of runes to start and still have the dragon sitting here. So we're going to do this a second time too because we grabbed 3 gold pickled foul foots. And I'm going to tell you, generally speaking, what I like to do because at a certain point, it's going to taper off and become worthless to kill this dragon. I like to kill the dragon 3 times, which nets me a total, usually I think it's around 216,000 runes, which is going to get me between level, by the time right here, this was after the second time, 39, but after we let him die finally for the last time, the third time, and you don't have to, you can keep farming him, we're going to be at level 47, 48-ish, and I'm going to show you the time at the end. I believe it's around 31 minutes that we're able to do this in, so this is a very quick and effective way to building new characters, to starting out the game strong, and to kind of turning around and becoming powerful in Elden Ring early in the game and getting you what you need to do what you want as far as your build goes. And as stated before, you can continually farm this dragon. You can repeatedly kill it over and over again. You can even grab the gold scarab if you want for extra runes. For the purpose of this video, though, I generally like to do it 3 times, get to level 45 to 50, and then move forward from there because at that point, like I said, you can start naturally leveling up through bosses without having to go back and really farm everything. So we let the dragon die at the end, totaling, I don't know, 220-something thousand runes, which is pretty epic to start the game. And I'm going to show you the time. We did that in under 32 minutes, and I had to get up a few times throughout this. Not many, just a couple. So I probably did this in under 30 minutes, which is really quite a fantastic way to get to the levels that we want to get to. And I'm going to show you as we get back to the site of grace here, what level we're going to end up being at. We're going to be just shy of level 48, I believe, if we end up tallying all this up. And if we killed the dragon 1 extra time, we would have hit 50-something in probably under 35 minutes. If this helps you or you thought this was awesome, definitely sub to this channel. There's a ton of great builds and walkthroughs and all different kinds of great Elden Ring content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys there.